Shut up and sit down.
Ms Swaminathan essay. Essay on Ms Swaminathan for students and children in English. It is so heartening to see the lush green fields of wheat, paddy, maize, etc. But if there was not a phenomenon which had the power to create a food bowl, then it would not have been so pleasant. Called the father of India's green revolution, Ms Swaminathan is the pioneering force behind the change. His vision is to see a world free of hunger and poverty. He supports the concept of sustainable development through sustainable agriculture, food security, and conservation of biodiversity. This, according to him, is an evergreen revolution. He was born in Kumbakonam on 7th August 1925. He was the second son of Surgeon Dr. M.K. Sambasivan and Parvati Thangamar. He learned from his father that the word impossible existed only in the mind. After his father's death, he was only 11 years old. He was looked after by his uncle. He earned a BSc degree in zoology. He enrolled in TNAU for another BSc degree, this time in agriculture. He was inspired to help farmers after the outbreak of the Bengal famine. In 1949, he obtained a postgraduate degree with distinction from IARI. He appeared in the UPSC exam and qualified for IPS. He accepted the UNESCO Fellowship for Research in the Netherlands. There he standardized procedures for transferring genes from wild to cultivated species of potato. He is modest about his achievements but forthright about his work's impact on his native land and planet Earth. Our history, he says, changed from that time. Swaminathan had since the beginning thought that India should be free from the tutelage of importing food grains. An incident from childhood shows how self-reliance has seeped into him. His physician father was an ardent follower of Gandhi, and the young Swaminathan was brought to a rally in which British cloth was burned. It was a lesson for life, says Dr. Swaminathan. I believed I had to serve the nation. In 1952, he earned his PhD from Cambridge University. He turned down an offer for a professorship. I asked myself, why did I study genetics? It was to produce enough food in India. So I came back. India at that time was importing vast amounts of grain to feed its teeming masses. He says that importing food was like importing unemployment because 70% of the Indians were involved in agriculture, and importing means supporting farmers in other countries. By 1966, Swaminathan was the director of the Indian Agricultural Research Institute in New Delhi, spending his time in fields with farmers trying to improve their productivity. Agriculture was in a very bad condition. Fertilizers were not being effective. When the wheat plant spot grew more seeds, its stalk collapsed under the weight. With help from the Rockefeller Foundation, Swaminathan found a crossbred wheat seed, part Japanese and part Mexican, that was both fruitful and staunch. He later bred this plant to an Indian variety to produce the golden colored grain favored by Indians. This was a breakthrough in green revolution. But a lot of work was still left. Indian farmers emerged in traditional ways had to be convinced to grow the new wheat. In 1966, Swaminathan set up 2,000 model farms in villages outside New Delhi to show farmers what his seed could do. Then came the hardest part. He needed a government to help to import 18,000 tons of Mexican seed at a time of fiscal hardship. Swaminathan lobbied the Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri. Since famine was imminent, there was everywhere a willingness to take risk, and so Shastri agreed. The first harvest with new seeds was 3 times greater than the previous years. But the revolution was still incomplete. Only Punjab had the facilities of irrigation for the new technologies. The state-run food collection and distribution networks were inefficient, and new fertilizers and pesticides were needed along with credit lines for small farmers. Political leadership was vital to solve these problems, and Shastri's successor, Indira Gandhi, bluntly asked Swaminathan that how could India be free of imports. She gave him a free hand to organize a new agricultural program.